Hello everyone, welcome to Lighthouse Stamping with Lorraine. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in Vancouver, Washington. Today we have a 3D project we're going to make. I'm in need of some special boxes for Christmas, and so I'm going to share those with you. But before we get started, the housekeeping notes need to be done. Remember to share, like, and subscribe to my channel. I really appreciate everybody who helps me grow the channel. Thank you very much. Also, in the description bar below, you'll find all the dimensions and all the products I used, a link to my online store, and a link to my Facebook group that we'd love to have you join. And also, if you live in the Portland, Vancouver area, please drop me an email to my email address and let me know that you're in the area. We are going to be holding some events, and I would like to invite you to some of those events that are being held locally. We will not be discussing the details online. So with that being said, let's move on with the project. This is the Festive Specialty Paper that's in the mini catalog. And I'll hold it up a little closer, you can see it. It's quite beautiful. This is pretty much what I have left. A couple small pieces, but yeah, I've been using it quite readily. Not the gold as much as the other. We're actually going to be using this piece in our project. As you can see, there's some dimensions on there. So let me get rid of the two pieces we're not using. And let me show you what we're making. It's a pretty simple little box. It's got and this is like a little belly band that moves. Well, it does move. There. It slides on and off. And the base of it, I'll hold this up so you can see it. It is made with glimmer paper. So it's very sparkly. The whole box, you got the shine here and in the snowflake. It's a very pretty box. Unfortunately, I cannot show you what's in this box or what's going in the next one. I will tell you the overall size of this box. It's 3 1/4 by 3 1/4 by 3 1/4. So it's a very large size box. So it will hold substantial items, and you can know there's something in there. But unfortunately, they are Christmas gifts, and I can't show you online because, you know, my family probably watches my videos, or at least some of them. So we'll move on. So let me get our board, and we'll get started. The first piece we're going to use, we're going to switch the colors on this one as well. We're going to use the Evening Evergreen Glimmer Paper. And I know we're getting a lot of shine because of the lights. And this is 9 3/4 by 9 3/4. And we are going to score it at 3 1/4 on all sides. Like I said, glimmer paper. Flip it over and score on the back side. You will thank me for telling you to do that. And just try to be very careful because even the back side is a little on the slick side when you go to do it, to score it. So take it slow. Don't try to go too fast. But score it from the back side. It really does make a big difference on this glimmer paper. So we've got that scored, and we'll furnish that in a few minutes. And then the lid, which is right here, which is 7 1/4 by 7 1/4, we are going to score at 1 and 2 on both sides, but we are going to pull it out just that hair. And I've told you before, I mean, we're talking less than a 1/16 of an inch. So if you take and I don't have 2 pieces of cardstock. If you take 2 pieces of cardstock and stick it right here, or this is probably enough too. It's glimmer paper's a little thicker. And put right up to the thing. You still need 2 pieces of cardstock, but put 2 pieces of cardstock, and eventually you will know exactly where that mark is here for you. It's just a whisper that you're pulling it out. But that's so the box fits very evenly. So that means you're a little less than an inch and a little less than 2 inches. But that's the easiest way to do it. So we're going to score at 1 and 2. Pull it out just a tad. 1. Make sure you're up against the board there. 2. Pulling out just slightly again. 1 and 2. And the last side, doing exactly the same thing. 1 and 2. Like I said, this is not a hard project. I think it's pretty. It's got a big wow factor. So we're going to burnish all this. Now, this one, we did score it opposite. And you know, it's everything you're not told. If you score on this side, you virtually cannot see it. And it does, you slide all over the place when you're scoring. At least I did. So, and I found that this worked just fine. So you're going to fold this up. And you're not going to press as hard as you would on cardstock. You're just going to lightly burnish it. Because you don't need to. It's very stiff paper. With the glimmer on there, it's very stiff. So you don't need to take and do a hard burnish on it. Just a light burnish will hold it in place just fine. So is everybody getting ready for Christmas? We are, and I've been getting my workout trying to keep the kittens out of the Christmas tree. They are having a grand old time getting in the Christmas tree. But we think we found out what they like. I have red cardinals on my tree, and they are going after the red cardinals, it appears. So I have now removed all the red cardinals off my tree as of about 20 minutes ago. And when they wake up for their nap, we'll see if that makes a difference. Now we're going to take and just burnish all the fold lines on this one. Yeah, I mean, a lot of people don't think about using this specialty paper for boxes, but it makes really great boxes, especially since it brings such a wow factor to the project without doing a lot of work. And this time of year, we need that. So I need to grab my snips here, and we're going to cut on all four corners, and we're going to rotate as we go. So you're going to cut down to the first square line there. And then you're going to come in here and take about half of it and whack it off. You don't need that much bulk. And that's a nice hunk you could use for something else. You could cut yourself out a holly leaf or something out of it. And then we're going to wedge in on each side a little bit so we make sure that it all fits. Just like that. And we'll come up and do this side. Got to move my knot on my ribbon, my scissors there. It's digging it in my hand. Come straight up. Take off another swatch. And it doesn't have to be exact, just about half. Like I said, this paper is much thicker than, it is a lot thicker than regular cardstock, so you don't need the extra bulk. Also, if you left it, it would come clear over to this, and it would be really thick. And, oh, I started cutting at an angle before I cut it. You can do it either way, but you save more paper if you do it this way. And then this one here. Whack this one off now before I forget. Because I do need to make some holly leaves out of this, so. Okay, so that's how you trim this, and that's what it looks like. So we're going to go ahead and trim the other one, and then we'll put them all together at the same time. This one, you've seen me do reinforced boxes before. Let me grab my pencil. So what we have here is this is our 3 squares. There's 3 squares here. We're going to be removing all 3 of those squares. And then we're going to cut into this one like this, and we're going to wedge it ever, well, it's going to be wedged just ever so slightly in there, okay? It's the other way, but you know what I'm talking about. And since this is all going to be folded and no one will see it, so cut down both those sides. We're going to wedge this little spot here. I'm cutting from the white side because it's actually without the lights hitting the, and we'll wedge up this little corner here, and here, and here. When I flip this over and I try to cut from this side, I'm getting the reflection from the paper hitting my glasses, and it makes it a little on the hard side to see what I'm doing. From this side, it's much easier. So if you're working under a bright light, that's something that's useful. And I'm going to trim this one up. Like that. I'm going to wedge this part off. I'm going to take a little wedge here. And then wedge these two pieces here. Then we'll come over, and do the same thing on this side. Now, normally I go round and round when I'm doing a square, but when I'm doing a reinforced box, sometimes I put them all on one side, so the connection, I think, is a little stronger. But either way works. It doesn't, you know, there's no right or wrong way to do it. It's just whatever you prefer to do. There's one, and one more. I'm so used to having some light coming in the room, but it is raining so hard outside. The street lights are on. And it might as well be nighttime out there. It's just a dark, gloomy day outside. Even though it's 1 in the afternoon. Okay, so that's our piece right there. Okay? So we'll go back to this piece now and put it together. I'm going to use tear and tape because, you know, I love my glue, but glimmer paper and glue takes so long to dry. But I want to put enough tear and tape on these panels that they don't come apart and they stay together. So I'm putting 3 strips on this. Now you could use glue. I'm using the tear and tape more because I'm trying to film this and I don't want to sit and hold it for 5 minutes each time, or put paper clips on it, or, you know, other clips to hold it. But if you have the time, you could use glue. And like I said, you need to hold it in place, or find a way to hold it in place with some kind of clip. And let that glimmer paper and the glue hook together properly. But if you're in a hurry like me, a fair amount of tear and tape will do the job too. So let me get mine. So let me go ahead and tear this off. And I believe I just do one at a time. You're going to bring this up. Remember, you didn't give it a strong fold, so you're going to have to maneuver it just a little bit. Bring it right up so it's there. And grab your bone folder and give it a good rub. And you have your nice, even seam there. And we'll just keep on going. Oop. That's one other reason you give the glue, the tape, a nice rub, is make sure it gets pressed into both sides of the, like I said, take it slow and make sure you've got everybody coming straight together. Because we didn't give that a strong burnish, because if you give it a too strong a burnish, you'll crack the glimmer paper a little bit. I did on one, but I've made 3 of these actually. I made a gold one, 2 of the ivory, and this is the green one. And then the last one. I know you can't see in here, but I flipped this piece so it's inside mine. I'll try to flip it so you can see it. Boop. And my tape did not stick real great, so I'm putting it back down. But I want to make sure that this was on the inside. It's just easier for me to do it that way. See how the the tape is flipping off of the glimmer paper. That's why you want to, when you push this together, go back and give this a good rub inside here and make sure that it is actually holding it. And I mean, when I give it, I'm putting some pressure on it. And I'm going to go back and do every single side because you just want it to hold it. Like I said, and glue will do the same thing, but you have to hold it a longer period of time. And that'd make a pretty box. So let's set that aside and let's do the lid. And we're going to use some tear and tape on that one. On the tabs on the outside here, this is the part that's going over and reinforced. So we're going to use some tear and tape on those. One towards the bottom seam and one towards the top. And I just, that's a little long. It happens. Just tear it off in the wrong spot. And one more side. So has everybody got their Christmas cards done? I actually sat down and made a whole bunch more Christmas cards to get myself all caught up. And I did. So I can get them all, the rest of them out in the mail. I've mailed some, but the rest of them are going out. And I'm going to use some glue now. So now I'm concentrating on presents and packaging because I like to make my own packages and bags and everything for my thing. So I'm putting a little bit of glue on that spot there and lining it up. Now remember, this is thin like DSP. It is a DSP. It's just a specialty one where it's a single side. But it's thinner. So be gentle. Like my poor kittens, I actually wrapped some packages yesterday in old-fashioned Christmas wrapping paper. And I had a couple large ones, and I had the paper on the floor to roll out the big sheets, because, I mean, we're talking large sheets. You guys have all been there. Anyhow, they were fascinated by the wrapping paper. They wanted to walk on it because it made noise when they walked on it. So I tore off the rolls of paper, I think, are like 4 feet long, and then I tore off a piece that's maybe 1.5 feet wide, and I set it down of Santa Claus on it. Red paper with Santa Claus. Set it on the living room floor, and they have a box out there. I had something in, and I took it out and gave them the box to play with. They love all kinds of strange things to play with. Anyhow, they discovered there's great fun to jump off of the box onto the paper because they slid. We decided it reminded us of that old slip and slide you'd play out with as your kid. So I'm pulling off the tape now and bringing that around. So I know you guys just love my stories of my kittens. Yeah, they're growing fast. They're 3 months old today. So now I'm not pressing this firmly down. We will take the bone folder and press it firmly down in a minute. So I'm going around and around so that when I get back around here, we got a nice reinforced lid. And the lid will come across over here and come neatly into our box like that. So it looks like this. So I needed some decoration for the thing, but I wanted to keep it simple because I thought it was so beautiful. So I decided to go with, this is the gold vanilla satin ribbon. And I just decided that this really worked for me. So I took a piece, and I didn't do it a lot tightly. I did it loosely, like a belly band on a card, so that we could, you know, leave it loose, tight enough for it to stay, but because you really don't need something tight to hold this. So I'm going to take some glue dots. A glue dot, if I can get it off. And I'm going to take it, and I'm putting this up here. on top of the ribbon. Then I'm going to take this piece here and put it sort of in the middle so it's hidden, and loosely go around. And don't let the glue dot end up on your finger. You guys see where the glue dot is? I held it too close. So let's put the glue dot back. Sticky. This new thing of glue dots, and they're very sticky. Make sure this is on here loose, even, but not tight. So it still has some movement, so you can take it on and off. That's what I want. That way they don't have to rip it. They can just slide it off without destroying the bow. Or in our case, the snowflake. So then I grabbed, these are the wonderful snowflakes. I just love these things. Let's get one out here without tearing the whole package apart. And they just pop out of here very neatly. They're like die cut in. They're like laser cut. And there is a right side. If you look at it, there's the shiny side and the dull side. See, this is the dull side. That's the shiny side. You see the difference in the camera. So we want the shiny side up. And we're going to put that right there. With, you guessed it, a glue dot. We're going to put that right in the middle. We're going to put the glue dot on the back side of this and put that right on the ribbon so it's not hooked to the box. And then I decided it still was not enough. It needed a little more bling. So I grabbed the round opal pearls because they are sort of iridescent, and the large one, it sort of reflects the colors around it. And I had some other ones, but this one I really thought looked the nicest. So that is our box. Sorry, I can't show you what's in it. You'll have to ask a few of my family members after Christmas. But it's, like I said, it's a good sized box. It's great for jewelry, perfume. I mean, you could put all kinds of things in here. It's big enough. You could put rolls of ribbon for somebody if you knew, somebody. No, I don't think it'd hold that. It would hold, you could actually put some glue in there. You could put lots of different Stampin' Up! Products in there. If you wanted to give somebody a Stampin' Up! Project. Okay, I'm gonna think. Scarves for your head, handkerchiefs. I don't know how many other people use handkerchiefs. We still do. But anyhow, it had a lot of different projects you could, things you could put in that. So have a good day, and thank you for joining me, and I will see you on Wednesday. Thanks, and have a good day.